This is another episode of Sons of Butchers. We're here with Brian Alwan. My name is Brian, and what we're going to do today is the bone-in pork loin.
So this is what would be considered a center cut pork loin. This is approximately 7 bones. They go anywhere from 5 to 7 bones for the full center cut. This piece here, a particular piece here, is about just over 4 pounds, about 4 1/4 here, and they'll range between 4 and 4.5 pounds generally on here. Traditionally, this one's pretty lean, so we're going to watch our cooking time on it. Sometimes they have a little more of a what's called a fat cap on here. This one is pretty much almost trimmed down to its silver skin. So there's not a whole lot of fat, but the good news is there won't be a whole lot of waste on it either when you're done cooking it.
So Brian, as we prepare this, what we're going to do is we're going to do the garlic cloves first, okay?
Yeah.
So we have paprika, we have some Zax sweet rub, some lemon pepper, some thyme, some ground pepper, and some kosher salt, and then obviously we have the garlic that we're going to put in there.
Brian, why don't you cut up some of those garlic cloves so they're sizes, and we'll take this paring knife, find the sharp end, and you can go either way on it, but we're going to go this way because of the way our string is, and we're going to penetrate it down here about 1 inch down and cut it about 1 inch or so into the slots, just to make little pockets in this meat. And we can use the string as a reference point here, so we can space them pretty evenly throughout, where every piece will have some of that garlic in it. And then you're just going to take your cloves. You can also smash them up a little bit with your little mallet at home. We're going to do this for simple purposes, but you can take these cloves and just stuff them in each one of the holes like this. It really is much garlic or as little as you prefer. Some folks may not like garlic, and you could just skip this step and go straight to seasoning, which I think that's what Brian's going to do right now for us, because I've got the garlic stuffed. He's going to go over and show you how to season some of this up now.
I mean, you can pat this dry, like when it's on, before you put the seasonings on, or I do a lot of olive oil on these to help the seasoning stick. So I think what we're going to do a little bit of that.
Well, it works as a double purpose too. So that olive oil will not only help it heat the seasoning to stick, it'll cook at a little higher temperature, so it gives you that beautiful crust when you're roasting or braising that off in the oven as well.
All right. Well, let's get after it here. We're going to turn this over because we'll do the bottom. When we put it in the pan to cook, we'll have it raised off the bottom of the pan so the heat can get under and the seasoning can get in there too, right?
Yep.
So we'll just take a little bit of this. We'll take a little bit of that and we'll rub that in. Put a little bit more on top here, on the end, some in the back here. So then we got a nice coating all the way around. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook this at what, 350 in the oven?
350.
20 minutes
Generally, it's about 18 to 20 minutes per pound. So this being a little over a 4-pound piece, we're looking about 1 hour and 10, hour and 15. So we're going to cook this somewhere between 138 and 140 is what we're looking for a center temperature on here. That way, when we pull it out and let it rest for 15 to 20 minutes on the counter, it's going to get us up to about 145 degrees.
Okay, well, we're ready. Let's let the oven's on, and we'll be back with the finished product here in a little bit. Okay, about an hour later, we got the pork loin out of the oven. Once we put it in there, I added a couple of rosemary sprigs to the top of it, as we can see. So, Brian, why don't you take it out of there and cut away?
So it's important, we've had this resting for about 15 minutes now. So we're going to pull it out of our pan, put it on our cutting table. You can either get some scissors and cut your strings out of there, or you can they'll come off. Get a knife of your choice. And you'll see it's just got a little bit of that pink in there, but really, really pretty. It's done perfectly. Our temperatures are temping right out at about 144, 145 on this, which is exactly where we'd want to be. And you're just going to kind of take your knife and go in between each rib for your guess, so you'd have one chop there. But that's what you want your pork to look like. You got a hint of pink with that white. That's a lean meat. But I mean, as you see, we got that nice little crust from the seasoning out there. You've got the meat done perfectly. You can pull your strings out there. and they're ready to serve for your guests.
So Brian, cheers.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Bite clean.
Let's go.